which teams would I expect to make the college football playoff sooner rather than later, and sooner being this year. Now, you heard Chadwell say he doesn't think that it's going to happen because the people in that room do not value the teams outside of the autonomous five, and I don't think that he's necessarily wrong. But I'm going to dream for a second. So I'm going to give you my 5 most likely teams to make the college football playoff outside of what we know as the autonomous five. And again, this means that I have to say out loud, Kansas and Vanderbilt have a better chance to make the college football playoff than any of the teams that I'm about to tell you about, which again is asinine and stupid. Okay? No disrespect to what Lance Leipold is doing or trying to build, or what Clark Lee is trying to do or build. It is to say, programs been in the cellar for a very long time. And the teams I'm about to tell you about have been doing nothing but reeling off W's and winning titles. Okay? Number 1 on the list, we got to talk about Central Florida. Okay? It's not just that they got Gus Malzahn as their head coach. It's also that they returned Dylan Gabriel, and that I think Malzahn is built for this kind of a challenge, right? Auburn, I think, makes a mistake in letting that man get away. Okay, first you pay him all this money, and you forget that he's one of the only people to beat Nick Saban more than once, which again, that's usually the game here. Now, it's also like saying if Michigan were able to beat Ohio State that, you know, you want to keep Jim Harbaugh around. And right now, that's what they would take. That's my point here. You take that as a Michigan fan. You take the sort of success Gus Malzahn had at Auburn against Nick Saban at Alabama. If you get Jim Harbaugh to have that sort of success against Ryan Day, you take it. It's what you want, okay? And yet that man's at Central Florida. So he's in an already stout conference, but I also think that he's in the best position to recruit the hell out of Florida, and he's already doing that. They're setting up billboards outside of Gainesville to tell everybody what's really going down. Talking about, hey, we won the last national championship here, not Florida, which I think is awesome. Like, that's a sports talk radio topic. And the reason that that's a great sports talk radio topic is because everybody's got an opinion about it and nobody's right except me. I'm always right. Now, the next team on the list is Coastal Carolina. They return damn near everybody, and they got 2 of the better wide receiver quarterback tandems in the country today, right? And Javon Hiley and Grayson McCall. And you heard me recounting my favorite moment between those two, and really I think would put Coastal Carolina in a position to be one of those top teams going into 2020, just before getting selected for the Cure Bowl and then losing a dramatic game against Liberty. But I really think that them coming out of their side of the conference to play against another team in the Sun Belt is going to tell us which team is the best team, or one of the best teams in the group of 5, depending on what Central Florida and some others, quite honestly, in the American do, because those, I think, are the 2 best group of 5 conferences in football today. But I like what they return. I like the offense that they run. I like the way that they've been able to recruit. And I like how their team seems to be more than just those 2 dudes, right? They are greater parts, right? They are greater than the sum of their parts, I should say. Number 3 on the list, okay? I got Louisiana, Billy Napier's Louisiana. Now, there is a great argument for Louisiana to be at the top of this list. And the one that it is they returned 98% of last year's production, okay? So think about this. They lose a tailback in Elijah Mitchell. That's about it. They return everybody on defense. And behind Levi Lewis, they got Lance Lejeune, who was at Mike Loxley's Maryland. Don't hate me, Terrapins. That's my bad. I have not Don Nelson. What's Don's last name? I have another man on my mind right now that I was going to try to make an allusion to with Levi Lewis. But if you want to dunk on me for saying Syracuse, I'll let you have it. He was at Maryland. He transferred to Louisiana. That's my bad. But they also played Coastal Carolina very, very close. Okay? They lost that game 20-18. And many people thought that if they got to play the Sun Belt Championship, that Louisiana had more than a fair shot to knock off that Coastal Carolina team. It got canceled due to COVID. They were co-champs. But we all wanted to see it. And we all knew that Billy Napier was one of those dudes that was up for one of these Power 5 jobs, ends up saying no to Tennessee and some others. I think he's waiting on one job in particular. And I don't really want to say what that job is. I just want to say that if they don't have that program together quick, fast, and in a hurry this year, they might go get them one Billy Napier. Okay, number 4 on the list. I got Boise State. Okay? I understand that losing Brian Harsin to Auburn might do something, but when I talk to Boise State, people are like, we don't know that he was really that good because we wanted something more. It wasn't like he was Chris Peterson. I'm going, yo, okay. And then the guy they hire, Andy Avalos, was defensive coordinator at Oregon, comes back home where he understands what they are and what the program needs, but he's also going into year 1, and Central Florida and Boise State play each other this year, which is going to be so much fun because one of these is going to knock off the other, and I don't think you're going to be able to make the college football playoff with a loss to a Group of 5 team, no matter how good that Group of 5 team is. But what a way for the Boise State Broncos to announce themselves in the first year, Andy Avalos, with a win against Gus Malzahn in Central Florida. That'd be a big deal. That'd be a lot of fun. Last team on the list, for which I'm sure y'all got words for me, Cincinnati. Okay? I look at who Cincinnati put into the NFL. I look at who they return, and I'm going, you got a lot here. Because Dan Enos is your running back coach, and that dude's now your quarterback's coach over at Maryland. Okay? Was quarterback's coach over at Alabama. I think that's a big loss for you. The bigger loss is Marcus Freeman. I don't believe in a whole hell of a lot of assistants the way that I believe in Marcus Freeman. I have been stumping for Marcus Freeman to get a Power 5 head coaching job for 3 years. Because all he's been doing at Cincinnati is turning that defense into real monsters. Okay? Them dudes is coming down to fight the Looney Tunes. They that good with Marcus Freeman as their defensive coordinator. He's now at Notre Dame. And he's got this absolute superhero in Kyle Hamilton that I can't wait to see what he does with. But I'm also not that big a believer in Desmond Ridder. I'm just not. I understand that there are a lot of people that are, but I don't see it. Y'all know that I went to the University of Tulsa, okay? You know that I watch a lot of American football. I watched Tulsa play Cincinnati basically for the championship. I ain't see it in Desmond Ridder. I ain't see it, okay? I saw a dude named Zach Wilson. I saw a dude named Zach Smith going head-to-head with the dude, and I was like, I don't see a big difference. And no disrespect to Zach Smith, but he wasn't exactly the best Tulsa quarterback we ever had, right? I mean, David Johnson got more claim to that than he does, and Paul Smith is looking at us going, yo, RJ, I'm still here. I know, that's kind of my point. So those are my 5. Central Florida, Coastal Carolina, Louisiana, Boise State, and Cincinnati. If you think I left somebody off, tweet us, reply to us on IG, Facebook, wherever it is, with who you think that is. Or if you got a problem with my list, make your own list. Tell me about it. Give me your reasoning. I'll listen. I might not agree, but I'll listen.